Every single person who has ever lived has died. Kings, prophets, warriors, apostles, all of them. Death is the one thing nobody escapes. Except, and this is what gets me, the Bible actually names people who did. Not people who died and came back, people who were here, walking around on earth, and then just didn't die. They left. And the Bible records it like it's completely matter of fact. 3 names, no graves, no death recorded. So who are they? What happened to them? And where are they right now? That's what we're digging into today. The first name is Enoch, and his story is one of the most mysterious in the Bible. We don't know a ton about him. Genesis chapter 5 is basically a long list of people and how long they lived. This repetitive rhythm of so-and-so lived this many years and he died, over and over. Then you get to Enoch and the pattern breaks. Verse 24 says, Enoch walked faithfully with God. Then he was no more because God took him away. No death, no burial, no grave. God just took him. Hebrews 11:5 adds, by faith Enoch was taken from this life so that he did not experience death. And Jude in the New Testament actually quotes Enoch directly, calling him a prophet. So this wasn't just some background character. He was speaking for God, walking so closely with him that one day God apparently just said, come on, let's go. And Enoch went. The second name is Elijah, and his exit is one of the most cinematic moments in Scripture. If you know Elijah, you know he wasn't quiet. He called down fire from heaven. He outran a chariot on foot. He prayed and it didn't rain for 3.5 years. So it makes sense that when it was time for him to go, God didn't do it quietly either. 2 Kings 2, Elijah and Elisha are walking together, and Elisha refuses to leave his side. They cross the Jordan River, which splits open for them, and then verse 11 happens. Suddenly a chariot of fire and horses of fire appeared and separated the two of them, and Elijah went up to heaven in a whirlwind. Elisha watches and cries out, my father, the chariots and horsemen of Israel. Then picks up Elijah's fallen cloak and walks back. No body, no grave, no death. And hundreds of years later, the prophet Malachi says God is going to send Elijah back before the great and terrible day of the Lord. His chapter isn't finished. Moses is a little different, and this is where it gets interesting. Moses did die. Deuteronomy 34 says clearly he died in Moab and God buried him. So technically he doesn't belong on this list, right? Well, here's the thing. Jude verse 9 drops this out-of-nowhere detail. The archangel Michael got into a dispute with Satan over the body of Moses. Scholars believe it's because God had plans for that body the enemy wanted to stop. Then, Matthew 17, the Transfiguration, Jesus goes up a mountain with Peter, James, and John, and suddenly 2 figures appear talking with him, Moses and Elijah. Both alive, present, recognizable, having a full conversation with Jesus about what he was about to accomplish in Jerusalem. Moses died, but God clearly wasn't done with him. His body was hidden, fought over by angels, and then he shows up alive at one of the most significant moments in the New Testament. That's not a dead man. That's a man God kept for a purpose. So where are these guys right now? For Enoch and Elijah, the Bible doesn't give a specific address, but it gives clues. Revelation 11 talks about 2 witnesses who appear during the end times. They'll prophesy for 1,260 days, shut up the sky so it doesn't rain, sounds a lot like Elijah, and have power over water and plagues, sounds a lot like Moses. When they're finally killed, they come back to life 3.5 days later and are taken up to heaven while their enemies watch. Most theologians land on Elijah and Moses, or in some traditions, Elijah and Enoch, because these are the only figures who left Earth without dying and are explicitly said to be coming back. Malachi 4:5 is direct. "See, I will send the prophet Elijah to you before that great and dreadful day of the Lord comes." That's a future promise. Elijah's story isn't over. And if that's true for him, it's not a stretch to think the others have unfinished business too. Here's the real takeaway from all of this. We talk about death like it's the most certain thing in the world, and for almost everyone, it is. But God has already shown us at least twice, arguably 3 times, that death is not a wall he can't walk through or around. Enoch walked so closely with God that God brought him home early. Elijah went up in fire and wind. Moses died but showed up alive and talking to Jesus centuries later. These aren't just cool Bible facts, they're statements about who God is and what He's capable of. Death doesn't get the final word, it never has. And Elijah's story especially isn't even over. He appeared at the Transfiguration, and according to Malachi, he's coming back before the end. That's not history. That's an ongoing story. If this made you look at these guys differently, go ahead and like and subscribe. Every week we go deep into the Bible stories that most people think they know. God bless you. I'll catch you in the next one.